Hi there, welcome to the RPS project. Today I'm going to have a look at the TC647. Well, actually it's a continuation because I've already had a look at that, but now my project has moved on a bit for my fume extractor, and I've now got 3 fans here on the workbench and all my board all set up, and I'm now trying to control all 3 but in a very specific way, but that's going to require some refinement. So really that's my next stage, refining my circuit so I can get just what I want from these 3 fans. They're going to work a bit like a compressor stage, I suppose a bit like in a jet engine, where you have your first blade is running at a certain speed, then the one behind it's running a bit faster, and then the next one is running a bit faster. So all 3 together help draw the air through, so you get more airflow for those 3 than you would if just had a normal one on its own, or even if you had just 3 just randomly running at ordinary speeds. You put them together, it helps draw that air through, and that's the idea. So better get to have a look at it and see if I can maybe refine it slightly, tweak it and get it sort of a bit more as I want. So that's going to be some investigations and trying to see how that works. So here's my circuit now set up on the breadboard. 3 controllers, so each TC647 runs 1 fan. So the way I've wired this one up is that's that one, so that's the fastest one, that's the medium, and that's going to be the slowest fan. But at the stack is going to be the slowest fan, the middle speed and the fastest fan. You can see I've got 3 lovely fans here all stacked up. I could separate them maybe a little bit between each one. And this here on this little bit of a breadboard is my resistor divider and a pot. So I've got, get that in shot, I've got 1 pot to control all 3 all at the same time. Connectors are falling off. So the idea being is that as I turn it up, I turn the speed of all 3 up at the same time at the same amount. But I suppose I need to refine this resistor divider maybe and make sure that it's working properly, because I've got it turned on, I've had it working, but it works, but I haven't looked at the voltages to check to see how refined it is. And maybe as well with this circuit I've got the minimum, so it's on our circuit on here, I suppose you can see that very well. You've got V min, the minimum voltage, so you've got a voltage in to create the minimum speed of the fan, so it's not stalling, so it's not stopping, so it'll always be turning. And I've got to set this resistor divider to determine what that is, and at the moment it's all the same for each one, but really I suppose I'm going to have to set that to be individual for each fan. So I suppose I better turn it on, show that it's working, and all 3 fans come on, and now got some airflow, and this is on its lowest speed at the moment, so I'm just going to turn up the pot, which is effectively turning down the resistance. And you know, I can't really tell because these fans are really quite quiet in comparison to my noisy power supply over here. Yeah, they're quiet, so I can't really tell how much airflow I'm getting. So I suppose turn that back down, get my multimeter turned on and start having a look at some voltages, mainly on the resistor divider, because this is the voltage in, which is the control speed for these. Normally you'd have a thermistor or something that's a temperature sensing device, but I've just used a resistor divider to create and take off where I need it for each unit to determine the speed of the PWM on that particular chip for each fan. So unravel these wires, see if I can have a look at the voltages. I'm going to start with the voltage here to this one, which is actually my going to this fan here. This fan goes to that one, which goes to that, which is the fastest fan. Can I connect this in? Should I use a different cable? So at this point I've got 90.93 of a volt. And if I turn the pot all the way up, I have 2.62 volts, which is a huge swing, isn't it? So what about the next one, the middle one, 0.82, and if I turn the pot all the way up, I'll end up with 2.33, so it's slightly less voltage. And I suppose the slowest fan should be the lowest voltage, so 0.63. Turn this pot up all the way and I have 1.77 volts, which is okay, seems about right. I think I need to do a bunch of calculations to work this out really, because if I turn this all the way down, well, that's wrong, isn't it? Because if I turn it all the way, I want more voltage. Yeah, and that's right, it's all the way down, greatest voltage, lowest voltage from here onto my IC, but then the input voltages are really too low because they should be higher than that. So I need to sit down and rework this resistor divider properly, rather than doing a bit of a hash job on it as I have done. Outputs. What is the output pin on this? Pin 7. How the hell am I going to find pin 7 in there? What a mess. See if I can just do it on this one over here. Pin 7 is 4, and it's turned all the way down, so let's turn this pot all the way, all the way down so it's on its fastest. And now we have just still got 4. So obviously I think my resistor divider is a bit rubbish. I've just quickly hashed out a few values for this resistor divider and I haven't really thought about how it affects the IC, so I will have to go back and redo that. But yeah, all 3 fans are turning. I just need to get some control back into them because I don't seem to have control with my circuit as it is. So back to the breadboard, well, back to the whiteboard I suppose, back to doing the maths and a few more calculations. So there you go, a sort of successful test. The fans, they came on, they turned, they were blowing air, but I had no real control over them. The voltage divider didn't really work because I've obviously got it set up wrong, so it's got putting all the wrong voltages into the V input pin on the IC, which means it's just not regulating that PWM signal on the output. So just got to go back to the whiteboard, sit down, actually do my calculations properly rather than just selecting a random bunch of resistors and slinging them in there. So yeah, to do a bit of proper work, a bit of proper maths to work out this voltage divider, to try and get it to work the way I want it to work, so I get proper control of it. Then hopefully, once I've refined that a bit, it'll all start to work the way I want it to work. So more testing, more checking, more maths. There you go. That's designs for you. If you want to design something, you have to actually sit down and do some maths and messing around and checking and more maths and then more checking and more testing, and there you go. Product design for you. Hopefully I'll have it working better next time. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and all comments are welcome. See you next time.